Thank you so much for joining me this morning. My face looks a little bit bright, which is not a bad thing because it means that the weather's getting a little bit better, which is good. I hope you're all well, keeping well. My name's Heather, I'm a songbird stamper for those who don't know, and welcome, thank you. Yeah, here in the UK it was a beautiful day yesterday, not quite as beautiful today, it's a little bit cloudy, but hey, it's not raining, which is a bit of a progress on what it has been like, to be honest. It's been pretty pants, the weather. I had my COVID vaccination, wearing my sticker with pride, yesterday, so my arm is a little bit sore, but other than that, touch wood, at the moment I'm feeling good. Let me just try and find this video, and I might be able to see some comments. I can see some people popping on, so hello, thank you and welcome. Yeah, I've got a cute little project for you today. I used to make these quite a lot when I did the craft fairs, and I thought it would be a good one to show you. I made one the other day just playing with Sweet as a Peach Sweet. Sweet as a Peach Sweet from Stampin' Up. And yeah, I thought I would show you how I made that today. So I hope you're all keeping well. There's not an awful lot going on, apart from there's a fab joining offer with Stampin' Up at the moment, so I'll talk to you about that in a little while. But other than that, things are just kind of plodding along here, really. Good morning, Anne-Marie, nice to see you. So I won't waffle on for too long. I'll wait a few minutes, I'm a little bit late, so hey, good morning, Katie, here now. Hello, Anita, thank you for joining us, nice to see you. Hopefully it won't be too long before we can start to see each other properly in person again. Fingers crossed, see how the situation goes. Obviously you need to stay safe and careful, but yeah, it would be good. It would be good to get back in person. I did have a random... Good morning, Kay, how are you? I did a random thought the other day that we could just take a craft table and go and sit in the field and craft together. Kind of take our portable kits with us. I thought that might be quite fun. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Mary. Nice to have you all join us this morning. So I'll spin you round and I will show you. I've got a mess. It's all a mess here again. I seem to have everything out. I've got about 3 sets of dies that I'm playing with today. So I'll spin you over and we'll get to doing some crafting, shall we? Right, bear with me. I hope it don't make you too sick. Trying to get this down in one go. Not all that successfully, I don't think. So, let's see what that looks like. There we go. So, what have we got? Sweet as a peach sweet. Oh, and shall I show you what we're going to make? Shall I? I'm going to make this. It comes packaged in a little acetate box, so these are from Stampin' Up as well. These are card boxes generally, but you can put all sorts in them. And I found them really, really good for doing these back to school sets. I don't know, little gift. I made them for the craft fairs, sold them for £5 each, and they went down quite well actually. You can do them all different themes. So what do we get in here? We've got a pen, which I'm going to show you how to decorate, for want of a better word. Just put some paper in there, to be honest. And then we've got a notepad. And a post-it notes, or sticky notes set. Post-it notes is the actual trademark, I think, but these are sticky notes. So I'm going to show you how to make this cute little set. And I thought it went quite well with my Stampin' Up pen as well. So in some of the photos I've taken, you'll see the Stampin' Up pen. The white just sets that off. It looks pretty, but I'm not going to give that away, sadly. My team members might get one of these one day. But I wouldn't give them away as a gift. They're too pretty. Well, not as a craft fair gift. Anyway, I'd give them away as a birthday gift or to a friend, but not in a craft fair. Sadly, not for £5 anyway. So let me show you how to make this, and it all just packages up. I slipped a piece of design safe paper in the back of that one there, and then the whole thing packages up quite neatly. I mean, you could try and figure out what else you could fit in there as well, but I thought that was plenty. Just a nice little pen. It sits just down the side there. I know, right? Stampin' Up pen. it writes really, really nicely as well. It's a proper heavy pen. Love it. So yeah, what's the joining offer then at the moment? Joining offer is fab. If you wanted to come join my team, £154 worth of product for £99. Even if you have joined before, doesn't matter, you can just join back up again. I'm just trying to get this in without destroying the paper behind it. There we go. You get to choose your products, you don't have to demonstrate, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to, but you can do. You can turn it into a little business, make your hobby pay for itself, but if you don't want to, you don't have to do anything. Anyway, £154 for £99. Bargain, free shipping. What have we got? Post-it notes and a notepad. That's where we're going to make a start. And I've got, I'm going to do it in slightly different colours. I'm hoping it won't take crazy long to make these. From memory, they're quite quick to make, if I'm honest. So I've got balmy blue and pale papaya this time round. The one I did earlier was in pizzazz and pale papaya. I'm going to use the same colour stamping for the inks, which is Calypso Coral, Pear Pizzazz and Pale Papaya. But I thought it might be just nice to put in a little bit of blue. Oh, you could turn it into a big business. You're absolutely right, Katie. If you put the time and effort in, some people make their crafting pay for their life. They literally make a job out of it. So again, yeah, go down that route if you wanted to. There's literally the sky is the limit, as they say. So I've got a piece of pale papaya cardstock. We'll start with a post-it note, I think. I love making these. I mean, I make too many of these. So it's 21 centimetres so along here and 29 something along here for A4 cardstock. And we need it, I'm going to mess it up completely, 6 5/8 by 3 1/4. So on the long side, I'm just going to cut it to 3 1/4 inches. I will try and write these measurements down somewhere in a blog post probably. 3 1/4. Because I'm mixing all my measurements today. We've got inches and centimetres going on left, right and centre, just because it's whatever's the easiest at the time. 5/8 and score it at 3 1/8 and 3 1/2. And that's it. That is the base for our post-it note holder. Then we need a piece of balmy blue. I'm such a wimp, so it doesn't really hurt that much. Need a piece of balmy blue cardstock, 3 1/16 of an inch. So, can you see on my trimmer? 3 here, and then all the little lines are 16ths. Okay, so every single line is a 1/16. 16 lines between 3 and 4, because there's 16 16ths in an inch. Okay, so 3 1/16 is 3 and 1 little line. The next line you go to is 1/8 of an inch. So you need to get your fractions. You need to get on top of your fractions if you want to work in inches. 3 1/16 of an inch by 2 and 15 16ths. So that's just coming back by a line. If you don't want to use 15 16ths and 16ths of an inch, then just come in like a quarter of an inch. But I just want, that's the border I want, so that's what I've gone for. And then a little piece of wistful white cardstock. And that is 2 7/8 by 2 3/4. If you're bulk making these, you can literally just cut all that cardstock in one go. So you cut multiple white pieces and then multiple blue pieces and multiple orange pieces. 2 7/8 by 2 3/4. And that's going to give us a nice little layer just on that one. So what's the stamp set I'm working with? I hear you question. Sweet as a peach. This is beautiful. And it comes with coordinating dies. So we get this one here, we'll cut out this branch. And then you've got the flowers. I'm going to show you both of these today. And the peaches. Both of which will stamp straight over here flat if you wanted to, or die cut them and add them on. You've got the peach to cut out this beautiful peach here. It's a really good size image. And then these little leaves to cut out these ones. And then you've got all these cute little flowers and leaves, which I've used some of the flowers, but I haven't used many of these leaves yet. So that'll be interesting to do something with. A branch, and then you've got this one here which fits around some of these sentiments as well. So loads going on in the dies. Then you get the papers, designer series papers. These are beautiful as well. See, I've been having a good old hack up of some of these. This one's gorgeous. Love that. Really cute little. Then we've got some flowery ones. Another one of these. This is pretty. Actually, that striped one's really nice as well. If you can see the watercolour effect in those lines. Flowers. That's nice. That'll be good for any kind of project. Same with this one. I love the fact that the designs on the backs, and this one as well, don't necessarily have to be used with the Sweet as a Peach set. You could use them with anything. So if you didn't want to get the stamps or the dies, which I don't know why you wouldn't, to be honest, but just grab the papers and go from there and have some fun with those. Then in the set also, I'm just quickly going to show you these. The sweets. I might give you a little sneaky peek of something else I made. You get these awesome jam jars. These are so cool. I may have shown you these already, I can't remember. And the lids just screw off. They're plastic, but they're so reusable. Especially for crafters, you could fill them all with buttons. So yeah, even if you didn't want to make kind of gifts, if you're looking for storage for your craft room, you could fill them with all different types of embellishments and then put them on the shelf, line them all up, they'd look really. Or you could turn them into a cute little gift. You're as sweet as a peach. Now this was filled with sweets, but I ate them all. I'm a terror for eating sweets and things that I make for people. So I need to refill this because this is going to be used for something, but I won't tell you what. So yeah, cute little gifts. So they come in the sweet as well, I think. Yeah, I'm sure they do. And that is on page 61. £53. That is an amazing price for the stamps, for the dies, the design series paper, and for the jam jars. £53. That's a steal. It's only £34 for the stamps and the dies. This is pretty, isn't it? You can literally make mini jam jars. So many samples, so many ideas. So there's that one there for you. Sweet as a peach. Have you got this coming, Katie? It's a really, really nice one. So let's get some stamping, shall we? So let's put that to one side. Pop the Whisper white cardstock. We're going to build it a bit, but we're just going to decorate this top bit. So I've got the like leafy shape, this one here, and I'm just going to stamp that simply. Down onto my white. So where the end of it is, just here, that's just going to come off the page ever so slightly. I think I missed actually, but never mind, it's so close, it's nearly off. And then I'm actually going to stamp my flowers onto a separate piece of Whisper white cardstock. So So this piece here. Oh, not this set. It's a really nice one actually. It works really well with the white. Just such a pale papaya, such a lovely colour. Now I've got pale papaya and calypso coral because I think they work quite well together. And you can do a little bit of sponging. So I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of sponging. So stamp it in, or pick up the ink in the pale papaya, and then grab the sponge, and I'm just popping a little bit of this calypso coral ink in a few places. I don't want to overwhelm it, so I've just popped that on and then stamp that down, and you can see there you get that kind of effect. I hope you can just about see that. A little hint of calypso coral on there, and then the centre of the flowers really brings them to life actually. It's this little stamp here, again in the calypso coral, and then just stamp that in the middle, and wow, doesn't that really bring those flowers to life? I did a load of stamping with the flowers and left that off, and I thought, oh, it's just missing something, and it wasn't until I thought, oh, I'll pop that on and see what a difference it makes, and it really does make a difference. So let me find my scissors. Just going to cut that out there, and you could stamp that off if you wanted a lighter effect. If you didn't want it quite so dark, you could stamp that off first. I'm just going to run this through my cut and embossing machine. I love the Mini for this reason. So that's what I've already doing for it's bank holiday weekend, isn't it? Which I always forget about because I'm working again this weekend. But I don't want, it's nights, so it's not as bad as working the days. Now these flowers are just going to sit here. I'm going to show you how to do this stamping as well, I think. And you've got gaps in your stems, can you see? There and there. So I'll make this and then I'll show you how to stamp. But you kind of want to make sure you're covering up those gaps in your stems with your flowers, just because it will help it to look a bit more realistic. Ah, good morning, Sandra. Thank you so much for joining us. You live in Kent. I love Kent. I really must go on holiday to Kent soon. I've been once or twice. I love it. So whereabouts are you in Kent? And thank you for loving my work. I think it really means a lot. Yeah, whereabouts in Kent are you? I've got friends who live. I haven't been there for a long time. Where do they live? Sevenoaks, I think. So in the set you've got these cute little flowers here, this trio of 3, and the words "Have a peachy day" is what I'm going to use. I'm literally just copying the thing I made the other day, really. But there's nothing wrong with that in crafting. There's nothing wrong with casing your own work either and kind of going, I love that layout, but let me try and change it up with a different stamp set. So I've got this coral ink pad, and I'm just going to pop this up here on the top right hand corner. Have a peachy day. My greeting to all of you. Have a peachy day. Oh, actually that is where they live. Herne Bay. Where they live, bless him. The male of the family passed away with dementia a couple of years ago, so it is only one left, bless her. We're off to your mum and dad for Christmas dinner as a family. And then you're leaving the twins there for the week and heading for the Cardiff overnight. Oh yes, of course you've got your escape rooms in Cardiff. That'll be fun, Katie. So I've got these flowers, these little ones, and I'm just going to stamp these randomly around here. So is that by the coast then, Herne Bay? I love being back by the sea. Where we are now. Love it. I lived up north for quite a while. I hated it. It might be a bit strong, but I didn't like it. I love being back. I love the South Coast. I love the South Downs, actually. Visiting your sister and niece on Monday. Oh, wow. Lovely, Anne-Marie. That would be really nice. A bit of crafting as well. Can't go wrong with a bit of crafting. It's how I intend to spend my mornings. I get home from work at 7 in the morning. And I've now finished my run. I was running 50 miles in May for Mind, the charity. I finished. So I'm done. I'm done running. I might go for one. There is a bit of an incentive to do a bit more, and it's because you help everybody else. So anybody who can't make the 50 for whatever reason will still get a medal if they've got enough miles in the bank from the people who have run over 50 miles. It's a long way, isn't it? 50 miles. I need to Westgate-on-Sea. Is that in Kent as well, I presume? So I've popped these onto some dimensionals just to help lift those off the page a little bit. Oops. I'm just going to pop those down. In place there. On the sea. Oh, lovely. Yeah, that sounds amazing. We're about 10 minutes away from the sea here. It's gorgeous. It's a cycle ride. I could probably run there, but I don't know if I could run back. I'd have to call somebody and get a lift back, I think, at the moment. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, I'm really pleased. I finished it on Wednesday, just ahead of my jab yesterday, just in case I didn't feel up to it. On the coast, close to Margate. Oh, I like Margate. Yeah, Margate's pretty. So, I've got some Tombow glue, and I'm just going to pop this onto the blue piece. You'll have to tell me which one you prefer at the end, the green and orange or the blue and orange. So that's going to go on there like that. That's going to layer on there like that. These are so quick, so simple to make. I used to sell these for £2.50 in the craft fairs, just the post-it notes alone. They used to sell like hotcakes. Hotcakes, I'm not kidding you. £2.50. I think it's because you can't buy a pack of like actual post-it notes. These are really good ones. I'll try and find the link and post that as well. I probably should have scored it first though. But yeah, these are, I wouldn't say cheap, they're good value ones. Snowpeak is the brand. So all I've done is make sure you stick this the right way up. I've lost count of the amount of ones I've stuck in upside down. So make sure you know which one is the top, where all the stickiness is. And then just on the back here, put some glue, because you can reuse these as well. Okay, so just when your post-it note run out, all you need to do, although I make so many, mine never run out, you just need to stick another one in. And you just pop that inside, butt it up to the score line. And then try and wiggle it around until you've got the equal border on all three sides there. And that is it. That really is it. Like I say, they used to sell in the craft fairs for £2.50 each. Beautiful gift to give to somebody, but really quick, simple to make. They make great table gifts as well if you've got people coming around for a craft fair, if you've got people coming around for like a crafty get together, or just part of a bigger gift like this one. Then you can package those all together. So I do love making those. One of the first things I started making. Then we've got a notepad that we're going to cover. So this one is, we need a little craft mat. This is the way I make my notes anyway, my notepads. I'm struggling to talk this morning. I blame the vaccine. Blame the jab. I tell you, I had a bit of a fright though. I don't like hospitals, I don't like doctors. May have shed a tear or two as I was having mine done. Yep, that's why I've got my sticker to tell me I was brave. But I was in the waiting room afterwards and the lady next to me fainted on the floor. Bless her. So in came all the doctors and they looked after her very well. She was fine, I think. But, so I've got this piece of A4 cardstock and I'm going to cut it on the long side to 10.5 centimetres. So always measure your notepad. That's exactly what I've done. I missed that step out. But I know that these notepads are 10.5 centimetres across. And it doesn't really matter how long it is, as long as you've got some to cover and wrap around. Okay, so we've got plenty here to work with. So cut it to 10.5 centimetres, and then score it. This is where I'm mixing my inches and my centimetres. Score it on the long side at 1 1/4 inches. That's going to be the flap on the back, and then move it up to 1 7/16 of an inch. That's 3 little dials. 1, 2, 3. Again, I know the thickness of these notepads, okay, but that's what you need to know is the thickness of the notepad, and these are 3/16 of an inch, and that's why I moved that up. So I've got my flap on the back, and then I've got my section there which is going to wrap around my notepad. Hey Sandy! Oh, you're always late, it's okay. I'm used to it, and it's not a problem. Just nice for you to join us, thank you. Oh, you had your second jab yesterday? Lovely, good. Yeah, I don't want to call her my mother-in-law, but Russ's mum's got her second one today, which is good. Good. So that is the cover, and again, make sure you stick this the right way up. There's a front and a back. These are from the range, 4 for £1, so 25p each, and they do them at all different sizes as well. And then what you're going to do is butt that up, make sure you've got it straight along here, and it's going to overhang at the end, that's absolutely fine. Okay, and then butt it up against the score line, wrap that round, make sure everything's straight and centred, and then pop some glue on that one there. So if you do fancy getting this set, you can have your very own Sweet as a Peach set to work with. They're £53 for the sweet, or the stamps and the dies are £34. I will be popping an order in the next week or so, I'm sure. So if you're local to me and you want anything, then you can just let me know and I can put that on an order for you. And if you live a little bit further away and you fancy shopping through me, you can do that through my website, www.thesongbirdsstamper.co.uk, and that will take you, there's a link there to shop with Stampin' Up, and take you to my store where you can purchase any of the goodies I've used. So now I bring in my little craft mat and my craft knife. And again, just make sure it's all lined up, make sure it's flat, make sure it's not rucked up, make sure it's not set off centered or anything like that. Make sure it's all lined up neatly, make sure you've got a sharp knife, but do be careful, mind your fingers, and then just trim along there. You're going to be using this notepad as the guide for your craft knife. Why is it stuck? What's it stuck on? Nothing. And there you get a lovely finish right down the bottom, and you know it's exactly the same, exactly the right length. If you were to try and do this any other way, I bet you your bottom dollar you'll not manage to get it perfectly lined up. That's my top tip for making notepads, is just turn it over and trim the end off with a craft knife. And that is our covered notebook. We just need to decorate it. Although I've done it in the wrong card, so I've done it in blue and I should have done it in yellow, but never mind, we'll do one, we'll do it back to front, it's not a problem. So now I've got my piece of, nobody notices that kind of thing anyway, like as long as the colours match, honestly nobody cares. So I've got a piece of cardstock. This is the pale papaya. I'm going to cut this to 10 by 14 and a half. So 10 by 14 and a half. Okay, that's our mat. Now we need a layer of design series paper. So I just need to decide which one I'm going to use, because I think I might change it up. Because I'm using blue, I'm wondering whether I put that blue stripy. So pretty. It's the back of the flowers one, which I have used. Oh no, maybe I haven't. Maybe I've used those flowers. Nope, I have not used any blue stripy. So let's get using that one, I think. And I'm going to cut that. I want the stripes to come down. Okay, I want vertical stripes. You can have horizontal stripes as well. I want vertical. So I'm going to cut it with them facing down to 9.5 centimetres. And I'm going to come down to about 6 centimetres. 6 centimetres is just under 2.5 inches. So 9.5 by about 2.5 inches. And then spin that round and cut that to the score line, basically. And the reason I'm doing it like this is because if I had trimmed all the way down my designer series paper, all the way down here, then I haven't got any kind of strips of it left. Whereas when you just cut away this corner, can you see, then that leaves you with much more to work with. So I don't always do that way, but I do try. And then that's going to stick on there like that. And then the last layer that I need is a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And that is going to measure 10.5 by 9.5. 10.5 by 9.5. Okay, and that's going to go on the top here. Okay, I'm going to use a die which is from the Basic Borders set of dies. You get these ones here. I need to do more with these. I'm going to make some lovely clouds out of this. And I've used this one here, which is pretty. But I'm going to use this one today, the V. I'm going to show you how to line it up. Lots of tips and tricks in this one. So I want to cut this so that I've got a kind of banner at the bottom. But how do I know that I'm going to get it exactly straight? So one of the things we're going to do is start to do a little bit of measuring. Take my ruler, and this is 9.5 centimetres. So half of 9.5, well, half of 9 is 4.5, and half of a half is 0.25. So I'm just going to pop a little mark there. And then I'm going to pop a mark on either side at about 2 centimetres. And as long as it's the same on either side, it doesn't matter really where you mark it. 1.5 centimetres, 2 centimetres, 2.5. You want it to be roughly. And what that means then is that when I line this point up with that score line, that we know the V will be in the middle, and I can then line up my score line on either side with my pencil mark. I hope that's all making sense. Okay, you can, and depending on where you put your pencil mark, you can kind of come above or below it. Just make sure that the actual cut line is going to cut still. The cut line is on the cardstock. If that doesn't make sense, please do shout and ask, but that should help you to line up. I'm going to bring in the big boy just because I want to put this in that way round, and it's a bit too big for the small one. I desperately need a new cutting plate. Now I've got a little bit of tape which I'll use because I'm putting something through that I really don't want to move. I don't know if you can see actually what I'm doing. It's all a bit messy. There we go, that's better. Ah, good. Thank you, Anita. So let's line that up. Again, just using the centre line for the point, and then either side on the pencil mark. And once that's in place, you can just take that down and then run that through. As long as you've got your maths right in the first instance, you'll be fine. I did make one of these where I couldn't divide something by 2, obviously, because I took it out. I was like, why does that look all weird? And it was because I hadn't measured it correctly. So if there is just a little bit of tacky residue left on there from whatever you've used, just use a glue eraser to take that off. And that's our banner. It's going to go on top of here. That's probably the most complicated thing out of this whole set that we're going to be making. So I've got on the top here, thanks for being as, and then I'm going to show you another trick while we're on a roll with tricks. Thanks for being as. The only problem with these photopolymer sets now is I need to learn to read backwards, because I can't see the sentiments through. So again, just doing that in Calypso Coral. At the top right hand side. I think once you put if you put your greetings on first, your sentiments on first, you know that everything else that you work around it is going to work. You know that you're not going to be fighting for space to put your sentiments in afterwards. So that's why I do that. Generally first. And now I want Sweet as a Peach. So one of my favourite sets in the spring summer from last year, I think, or this year just gone, was the Many Messages die and stamp set. And in this new catalogue that's just been launched, they released this one, and it's the Many Happenings, which coordinates with this die set. So this is the die that you get, one single die, and it fits over. So this is at 85%, these images. But so Love and Hugs will fit in there, Just Breathe will fit in there, Time to Relax, or Congrats, Time to Relax. Loads of sentiments, but you don't have to use these two together. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create yourself a load of shapes that you can then stamp. And it really is simple. All you're going to do is grab a piece of white cardstock. Does this video keep freezing again, folks? Or is it just my computer? I thought it would be better. I hope it's not freezing at your end. So I'm just grabbing a piece of white cardstock. And I'm measuring the die. It's about 13 centimetres. So cut that down to 13. And then run this through your cut and emboss machine. Just as is, we're not going to do any stamping today. You can stamp that one big stamp and then die cut all of those sentiments out in one go. That's the point of this die cut. But you can also do it this way. Oh, it's all good. Lovely. It was freezing on your iPad, watching on your phone. Technology, hey? It's only slipping around this because I've got it on my grid paper. So, here's my dies. All my labels now. I love it. I really think this is a fab set. because so many of our sentiments are quite small, and so trying to find a label in some of the label die sets is quite difficult. I'm just going to trim this off. But now I've got, I mean, how many is there? And you could even use this negative image for something as well. I've seen quite a few people doing that, which is fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 labels. And you can then kind of see, especially when you've got a set that's 100%, so this artwork here is at 100%, I can turn around and say, right, that's going to fit on there and there. Where's this? Are any of these going to fit on this little one? Let's have a look. It's Your Day, yeah, they'll fit on there. Just's going to fit on there. To a Sweet Friend, Just. So you can literally see, as long as it says that as long as it doesn't say images at 70% or images at 80%, then you'll be fine. And again with this one, I know that Thanks So Much will fit, and you can even trim the ends of this down. Happy Birthday. So yeah, love that idea. And then all I do is I've got a little Tupperware box where I keep the ones that I've already stamped. So I need to stamp some with this new stamp set. But it's so quick and easy then to grab a sentiment. Maybe a little bit of sorting would be good. I've got them in black, I've got them in grey, I've got them in red and blue so far. I might heat emboss some onto black as well. Wishing you a year of magical moments and wonderful memories. And you just keep them in there and then grab them when you need them. So quick. But yeah, I need a new plate. Look, everything's sticking to my... If anybody sees like a fishing tackle box, I think I've seen some demos use. So I can sort them into little bits. I've been looking, but I've not found anything quite right. So I'm going to use this one here. I'm just going to stamp Sweet as a Peach on that one. Because we measured it and we know it's going to fit. Okay. So now where's my white piece gone? There it is, that's what we're decorating at the moment. And that's going to sit down here in the bottom left hand corner. So I'm going to do some stamping, and we're going to use Pear Pizzazz again for our leaves. I've managed to get a bit of ink on here, but it's okay because it's all going to be covered up with bits and bobs really. And I'm going to show you how to stamp the peaches, I think, straight down onto that one now. So take my flowers off and put my peaches on. And again, just picking the ink up with those in the pale papaya. Such a peachy colour, perfect for it. And then sponging on a little bit of that Calypso Coral. So when you line these up, inside the stamp, there's some little notches. I'm hoping you can see just the little notches just in here, look, and in here. That's what you want to line up with these bits on. So this one, and this one. And then these gaps are where the actual peach sits. Okay, so I'm lining that up. And then that gap and that gap there is where the peach comes round, and it's got its nice little thing and it sits perfectly in there. But it can be a little bit kind of tricky to know where to line up to begin with, so I wanted to show you that one. And I will quickly show you the flowers, how they line up as well. So we'll just do that onto a piece of scrap, I think. Try to keep this grid paper fairly clean. So let me just stamp, yeah, it'll be fine onto there. Stamp that onto there. And the flowers are a little more tricky, so this might take me a while. to figure out where to go. I think I remember. Yeah. So it starts off, you've got the stem here, and it comes around here to the little one. So it starts off with the medium one, then the little one, then the big one. And again, you're just lining it up so that the gaps are covered, but you don't get too much overlap between them. Yeah, it's good, isn't it, for lining up? It works really well. They've really thought about it, and with the flowers as well. But again, it doesn't matter if you get it off. It really doesn't. It's quite an artsy set. So that's absolutely fine if you don't manage to line it up perfectly. I haven't on all of mine, and you don't really notice. So, but this one here I'm going to stamp and then die cut. So I'm going to stamp that there, and then I'm going to die cut my peaches, and I'm going to stamp some flowers to die cut as well separately. I love that two-tone effect that you can get just with a hint of Calypso Coral. Not too much, you really don't want too much. And then another little scrap of white for our flowers. It is pretty, isn't it? It's a lovely set to work with. It's bright, it's summery. Again, just going to pop on a little bit of Calypso Coral ink, not too much. I don't know what I've got on my fingers, but it's kind of going everywhere. And then I'm going to do the centres, because that really makes a difference with these flowers. Well, I might stamp it off first. Oh, it is lighter than it was actually. It was quite dark the other day. So now I just need to die cut all of these. Here's my little plates. So we'll die cut these two first, I think. We've got the... Oops, everything's everywhere. Got the branches and I've got the peaches. That one and that one. Again, you could put some tape over that if you're worried that it's not going to hold properly. But I'm going to go for it. Although I know, I can see already I've moved it. I'm so impatient. Yeah, I'm going to run the peaches through because they're lined up perfect. I'm going to stop and reline up that. So it might be easier just one at a time. I have got the tape that I used, so let's grab a little bit of tape. Ah, Holly loves a good peach. Where I went to West Dean Gardens on Tuesday, they had some nectarines growing. It was so lovely to see all the plants growing. Yeah, and they had been labelled. I've never seen nectarine trees, I don't think. Just got some organic ones delivered in a fruit box from work. Oh, that sounds nice. Gosh, you're lucky getting a fruit box from work. It would be so much easier if I moved to grid paper. Do make life difficult for myself sometimes. So I've got 3 peaches, I've got a stem, and I just need to find my flower dye now. Genuinely could be anywhere, to be honest. I used it, didn't I? I used it earlier to do the flowers for the notepad. die. Oh, there it is. Sandra, this is, are you loving yours? Sandy's got this little die cutting machine. It's gorgeous, isn't it? So handy. I'm not kidding you. I mean, I love my big one. It definitely has its purpose still, but this one for just being able to sit nicely on the desk in front of you. Much better. I sent you a code for a treat for National Mental Health Week. That's nice. All we got was some recorded lectures. Yeah. No, that's nice. And I mean, fruit and fresh food is so good for you. Although we had fish and chips for tea last night. I felt like I needed a treat after my ordeal at the hospital. I'm a big wimp. So, yeah, we had fish and chips, which was lovely. So I'm going to make this separately on here. So I'm just going to stick this down because I feel like I want to do that next. You could go for the... I am tempted to go for this one. I don't know. You guys decide. I'll let you decide. Which do you want to see face up? The blue stripes or the flowers? I know which I prefer actually. Blue stripes or flowers? I'll let you decide. I'm going to pop that on some dimensionals while I wait for you to make your decisions. It is so much better than the big one. Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely little machine. Oh, I need to want the flowers. Okay. Any more for any more? So I'm just going to stick that on. I'm going to go there. Just trying to line that up with the left-hand side. Stripes, 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 flowers. Oh, stripes are winning at the moment. Got 2 flowers. Sandra wants the flowers as well. And 3 stripes. I'll give you another minute. You've got more time. Well, I'm going to make this first. It's fun. I like stripes. Jenny wants stripes. So I'm just going to stick this down with Tombow glue. This leaves and the stems. So it's just coming off here. It doesn't matter if you go over at the top or at the side slightly. It's going to come across like that one there. Well, I think the stripes have it. So we're going to go stripes, I think. I'm going to pop some dimensionals on my peaches. It's going to go on here. And then these will stick again. It doesn't really matter with this because you die cut them which one goes where. Doesn't really matter. You can put them where you want then. With the stamps it matters a little bit because you've got to line them up. Stripes from Mary and stripes from Lisa as well. So let's go for stripies. That was my choice as well. The stripes are a little bit fresher. So let's stick the purple pie piece down. Just make sure you've got a nice border all the way around, nice and even. And then straight down with your design series paper. We ought to do like a mystery stamping one time where I ask you what set and then I ask you what colours and see what we end up with. And then this is going to go flat on as well, and because we've cut it to the same width, this is so nautical, this one, isn't it? You could do so much with that. It's lovely. And you can make your own as well with the aqua painter and some balmy blue and some shimmery white cardstock maybe. That's going to go straight down like that. Again, just make sure you're leaving that nice border at the top and at the sides. Make sure you've got lined up. And then these flowers can go on if you want them. If you don't want them, you don't have to have them on. That's no problem at all. I actually put these on because I stamped some little flowers on this one. and decided I didn't like the little flowers, so I had to cover them up. So these are actually covering up some little flowers, but I quite like it with them. Just a bit of blossom. And then this cute little one can go in here. What a fun way to spend an hour, hey? There's our notepad and and it doesn't matter that one's blue, you know, I've done the base blue on that one and the thingy orange on that one, it doesn't matter at all. I'm going to put the ink away because I think we're done stamping. I'm just going to show you how to pop it all together. It does look good with the stripes, doesn't it? I quite like that. It really pushes your eye up to this bit here, which is where the design is. So we've got a pen. Okay, where's my pen gone? I'm going to show you how to fill this with paper. It's just a case of which paper do we choose now. I think we'll go with the blue stripy one again. Okay, and you don't need much, you just need a little piece of paper, design series paper. Let me measure it, because let me take this one out. And all you're going to do, you need to make sure you've got a pen that kind of disassembles. If I can get it out, actually, I might need. No, not easily. Could be here all day, so let's pop that back together. I can tell you how long it is. No, exactly, Katie, you'd never notice. So it's about 3 inches. It's about 3 inches long. Let's line that up because that's 4 inches. And just trim a little bit more off. There, I think. It's all a bit haphazard, but that's okay. And again, just trim that up to there. And then I'm just going to trim that down to 3 inches. Now what I'm going to do is use the edge of the table. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I'm going to use the edge of the table where you've got that sharp crease, just to push my paper with the palm of my hand. Let me see if I can bring you over so that you can see. There we go. With the palm of my hand, I'm just pushing up and down on that piece of paper, and it starts to curl it. Okay, and that will give you a good head start on curling that paper enough to wrap it up tightly. And it might, if you've got too much here, then you can cut some off. So I think it might be a little bit too long that way, so that's fine. We can just grab the trimmer. You almost just need to break the fibres down a little bit so that it curls nicely. As you can see, you really don't need much paper for this. And then just curl that nicely. Take your pen apart. Don't lose any of the bits as you go though. And then you need to get this into that little hole. So just keep making that a little bit smaller maybe. Once it's in, it will fill to expand. There we go, so that just goes in there like that then. That one goes back in there. And that one on. Push this up as far as you can get it. Okay. And there you've got your filled pen. So as long as you don't overfill it, because can you see when you bring your pen, when you click your pen down, this little bit at the top needs somewhere to go. So if your pen won't click, just trim a little bit off the edge of the paper there. But that's our matching pen. It's fresh, isn't it? And then we've got our acetate card box. So these come in a pack of 10. How much are these? These are under the packaging and basics. There we go. Number 1. So 10 for £6.50. So 65p for these. 25p for your thing, however much you can get your pens for. Your notepads, your post-it note holder, they're about 50p if you buy them in bulk. And don't buy the post-it ones because they're very expensive. Good morning, Sue. Nice to have you join us. Oh, these are lovely, these. And they say these, Katie, would make great gifts for back to school. If you wanted to be for classmates or something, a nice little gift. And all you're doing is folding all the fold lines, so it comes already scored. You're just folding on those score lines. And then we need a piece of design series. We don't need a piece of design series paper, but I think it just finishes it off if you put a piece of design series paper in the back. I don't think I want to go stripy. I think I might go that way. Actually, I think I might go stripy. Should we just go all stripes? Let's cut it and see what it looks like. So I'm going to cut it to 11.5 centimetres by 16.5 centimetres. 11.5 by 16.5. 11.5. By 16.5. See what that looks like. And now because we've got both sides, I can choose if I don't like one side. I can switch it the other way around. Now my stripes are a different way around. Just need to trim ever such a slightly amount off the top. So it'd be about 16.3. Just going to trim that top stripe off. Oh, you need to make all of these. Jenny, these are lovely. Really, really, and they went really well at the craft fairs. Yeah, make gorgeous little gifts. Oh, I'd love for you to make some. That's why I do them, so that I can inspire you guys. So actually I'm going to turn that round and we're going to have blue stripies on the back and flowers on the inside, I think. That's going to be better. Yes. Otherwise it's a bit stripy. There we go. And just pop that down underneath the... Actually, I'm just going to switch all that round. That was the back. So where you've got this bit here that pops in, that's actually the back. So I need to flip that over and put my paper in on the back and it upside down. That's better. Pop that one in there. That one in there. Your stripy pen just sits down the side. Close those in, and then this one then folds around the back. and you can have it inside or outside of that paper depending on where you want it to sit. I'm going to try and go outside, but to be honest, where it falls is where it will lie, as they say, so it's going inside. But you could take a bit more time and make yours go outside if you wanted to. And there's our little set. Gorgeous, aren't they? Yeah, and that makes a really nice gift then to give to somebody. And I just need to reassemble this one. Oh, definitely. Yeah, these are going to be fabulous for all over. Yeah, different set stamps, different colours. I've made so many of these, and do you know what the nice thing is? They keep really well. A lot of the things you make for craft fairs, if they're food related or anything like that, they don't keep, but these really will. Same for gifts. You could just make a load of these, set them in the cupboard, and then when you need one, you've got one of the right theme to give to the right person. You can make masculine ones, you can make children ones. I've done some with the wizards that we had ages ago, and the castles and things like that. They went quite well. And that just sits down there. So a really good use for our acetate card boxes. £6.50 for 10 of them. So you can make 10 of those sets, and so you just stack them up, take them along to the craft fair. Oh, you absolutely could, Katie. Yeah, some of them I have decorated the outside of them more. You could add some ribbon to go around. So that's the back of it. It just really finishes it off with that piece of paper in there, I think. But I don't want to cover up the pretty design. These would be fab to make for your charity. Absolutely, they would sell. I'd say I normally sell them for about £5 UK, but you just add up the cost of everything. Add up your time if you want to charge for your time, or don't if you make them for fun and you just want to recoup a bit of costs. Entirely up to you what you charge for them. But yep, they are fabulous. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I say if you want to order anything, then please do pop onto my website www.thesongbirdStamper.co.uk. I'll pop some links in the description to this post as well. I'll pop the measurements probably on a blog post. That will be coming out soon. If you don't subscribe to my newsletters, please do subscribe to my newsletters. Again, you can do that through my website, and then you'll get updates for all my blog posts as well. So if you think, oh, I'm never going to find you again and I'll miss out on all those details, just subscribe to my newsletter. Get a free bonus PDF tutorial as well for my birthday calendar at the same time, just to say thank you for doing that. So thank you for spending your hour with me, or hour and 10 minutes with me, and I will bid you adieu. I might be back next Friday. Yes, because I'm supposed to be working, but I've taken the weekend off. So I should be with you next Friday for something. I was going to show you today a pop-up card, but I haven't because we didn't have time. So maybe I'll save that till next Friday. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, everybody who's joined and watched today. Thank you, everybody who's watching on the replay as well, or on YouTube, because I'll upload this to YouTube later. And I will catch you all later. Have a lovely weekend. See you all again soon. Bye for now.